Kimberly A. Collins, and she wrote a book called Bessies Resurrection, which are poems in response to Bessie Bears, which is a character in Richard Wright's native son. So this particular poem is called Why Bessie? Church, I want to ask you, why not Bessie? And when you ask the Lord, why me, he says, why not you? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Bessie was like any of you. She was black, she was female, she was poor, she was in love, she was a daughter, she was a hard worker just like any of you. Why Bessie? Why not Bessie? Her name conjures up sleeping souls rocked in the belly of slave ships. Her blues first explode there in the bows of this hellish ship that docked her and our forefathers on this foreign shore. She came, womb-weary, having dumped her head in your mama's arms. She expels more seeds in planted rows after drinking pennyroyal tea. This was her open revolt. She refused to birth anyone that wasn't free. Her name is synonymous with both beast and woman. Teeth checked, pinched, prodded in public places by pale-faced peeping toms. She is a muddy map of southern red clay stuck to her heels, plowing through stubborn earth, pulling weight that is never hers to turn over soil, to steal a yam to cook, to remind her of home, where festivals welcome the yam's arrival. Church, I say church. I know Bessie Mares ain't the first Bessie you know.
Yeah.
Who don't know an Aunt Bessie, Cousin Bess, Grandma Bessie, Mama Bessie, Queen Bessie, or that woman called Empress that y'all sneak to the juke joint to see. Even Mr. got a mule named Bessie. Her name is a collective song, moaned into me. It means she knows something about somebody trying to ride the wheel out of me. It means her gnarled knuckles will not allow rings of deceit to slide over them for an unkept promise. It means her unlettered words from her fire breath speak her bruised beauty out of boxed lives. Bessie is the celestial charmer, the secret keeper of the soil's healing power. Bessie's name hums meaning into lives which are real and imagined and hard. Her name, like her life, was a subtle blues note, a slow moan heard while spooning stew. And church, I say church, on that day when we thought she died, when they pulled her body out that cold chute, it was more than her that raised from that place. No, brothers and sisters, Bessie did not die in that chute. When she came up, all those Bessies who wear iron harnesses around their shoulders and on their backs, dragging unwanted weight, rose up too. Yes, all these Bessies who waited upon the Lord had their strength renewed and mounted up with wings on eagles. They ran and were not weary no more. All those Bessies whose mouths were silenced with leather bits came out with her that day. They escaped Shadrach, Abednego, and Meshach's fiery furnace of woe. She was Jesus who suffered the blunt trauma to his skin, but not his spirit, to rise again asking, do you remember me? Wow. Church, do you remember him, the one that died on Calvary, nailed to a wooden cross? You ask why? Why him, that mighty lamb of the world? Why? Why Bessie? A woman who looked just like you, blending all of our nighted memories of kingdoms and queens buried in the dust tracks of our tears. I'm a close now. But before I leave here today, I want you all to chew on this in the front of your minds. They say Jesus had 12 disciples, but that ain't true. They forgot Mary Magdalene and Jesus' own mama. So why Bessie? Because Bessie was one.